Hi there! If you clicked on this video, you are probably interested in or planning to take an AP History course at some point during high school. If so, there are some important changes that the College Board has made regarding the AP exams for these courses that you need to be aware of going forward. And as a student myself, I'm here to tell you about them to keep you informed. If you're new to the world of AP, here's basically a simple overview of it. So you spend the entire school year learning material for the AP course you're taking, and then in May, at the end of the school year, you take an AP exam that determines whether you receive possible college credit for the course. They're a great way to earn college credit during high school, and they're definitely worth taking in my opinion. Anyways, back to the focus of this video. So there are three AP History courses that the College Board currently offers: AP World, AP Euro, and AP US History. And depending on where you live, your school might offer all of them or only some of them. Regardless, the changes discussed in this video will apply to all three courses starting in 2027, specifically to the AP exam at the end of the year in May. So I just want to go over how the AP exams for three courses are structured because it's the same for all of them. So there's four sections of the AP exam for all the AP history courses. There's the MCQs, multiple choice questions, and then after that you have short answer questions or SAQs, then the DBQ or document-based question, and the long essay question or LEQ. So for MCQs, they're going to be 40% of your exam score, and there's 55 questions, and you get 55 minutes to complete all of them. Typically, MCQs will include a historical passage or like a picture or image that you have to analyze, and then like a few questions tied to the specific, if it's like a quote, image, graph, etc. And then each question's only gonna have four answer choices, and you just choose the best one that you think is right. Short answer questions, they're gonna be 20% of your exam score, and it's three questions, and you get 40 minutes to do it. And basically, these are you have three parts, A, B, and C, and you typically write like 2 to 4 sentences to answer whatever the part is asking you to do. And then after you do the MCQs and SAQs, you typically get a 10-minute break before you get to the next two sections. So the DBQ and then the LEQ are the next two sections, and they conclude the rest of the exam. The DBQ is 25% of your exam score, and it's one question with a prompt, and you get 7 documents with it, and you have to use those documents to support an argument that you're basically writing an essay with an argument. So you have to use the documents as evidence to support your argument. And typically it's recommended that you spend 60 minutes on this, though you don't always have to. And then finally, the LEQ, it's 15% of your exam score. And similar to the DBQ, it's going to be a question, typically in the form of a prompt. And typically, they recommend spending 40 minutes on this. And it's also sort of like an essay styled writing thing. But this time, you don't get any documents for it. It's just straight based off your own knowledge. Okay. While we're discussing all these changes, I just want to go over what's not changing for these courses. So the MCQs are still staying the same. It's still going to be 55 questions in 55 minutes. There's no new course information or content for any of the courses. So basically, they're not putting in any extra info. And then if you don't know what historical thinking skills and reasoning processes are, your teacher will tell you more about that during the school year, but I'm not going to go too in detail about that right now. And then the scoring rubrics for the free response questions, which consist of the DBQ and LEQ, they remain unchanged, and your teachers will go over that during the school year as well, hopefully. But I'll definitely go into more detail about the scoring rubrics if you guys want. Finally, the timing of the exam will stay the same. They're not making it shorter or longer. You still get 55 minutes for the MCQs, 40 minutes for SAQs, and then 1 hour and 40 minutes combined for both the DBQ and LEQ. So that's why, as I said before, you don't have to spend 60 minutes on DBQ and 40 minutes on the LEQ. You can split up the 1 hour and 40 minutes however you want between the two sections. First, we're going to go over the changes to the SAQs. So during the old exam of the past few years, there will be 4 SAQs and you only had to answer 3 of them. The first two were required, and they typically included some sort of source or stimuli, like a graph, a quote, a historical statement. But then you would get an option of choosing between the third or the fourth SAQ. And you only had to complete one of these. And these two, they would just be straight questions. You won't have to analyze any statements, pictures, or graphs, or anything like that. However, now during the new exam, which starts in May 2027, you won't be able to choose between the third or fourth SAQ anymore. They're just going to present you with three and you need to answer all three. So the first two, they're still going to include some sort of stimulus like before. But then the third SAQ, it's instead of giving you guys a choice to choose, they're just going to give you one SAQ and it's going to include a non-text source. So it can't be a statement. So it's going to be an image, table, graph, etc. And yeah, that's just the major change is that they got rid of the choice between the third and fourth SAQ. So it's just going to give you three SAQs and to answer whatever three they give you. You don't get to choose anything basically anymore. Moving on to the DBQ. During the old exam, it will be a question in the form of a prompt, as I said before, and then they provide you with 7 documents to support whatever your argument was to that prompt. And the question and prompt will often cover like 1 unit's time period, which is different for each course. So for example, a DBQ for AP World, it could be on Unit 5, which is from the years 1750 to 1900. However, during the new exam, which starts in May 2027 again, you're still going to get a question in the form of a prompt, and then you're still going to get 7 documents as to analyze and use to support your argument. But now the question slash prompt, it will cover a larger time period. So you'll be able to use more info from the course basically. Finally, the LEQ. So during the old exam, you get provided with 3 LEQ prompts from different time periods. And you just choose one of the 3 prompts to write about. So whatever you know the most about, you typically choose that one and write about that. However, now during the new exam, which again starts in May 2027, and now instead of giving you guys the choice of choosing one of the 3, they're just gonna provide you one question in the form of a prompt, and you won't get to choose anymore. It's just prompt they give you. You have to do that. However, the prompt it'll cover a larger time period, similar to DBQ, so you're gonna be able to use more information from the course once again. And also, according to College Board, there's going to be a brief intro statement for the LEQ now that offer you guys like possible ideas or topics to talk about in your LEQ. And that's it. Thank you for watching this video and follow along for future AP review videos, topic reviews, updates, and more.